When you turn the machine on, you will automatically be set for a straight stitch on the main menu. Your arrows down will let you see even more stitches available on that first menu. And a lot of these you might not recognize what they are, but the question mark will allow you to ask it, well, what is stitch number 23? That happens to be a darning program. And yes, we will do a video just on how to darn a hole in a piece of fabric, and it actually works really good. There's actually a couple versions of that. How about one more over here? 24 is a bar tack program set for putting waistband belt loops back on, reinforcing buttonhole bar tacks. It's actually a great stitch too. Once again, we will do a video on those particular items. Basting stitches. These are all your practical stitches, stitches 1 through 33. Now to get to your more fun stitches, that's the little picture here. It kind of looks like a little decorative stitch, and you'll get to menus that are set up like folders. In the 100s, you'll find stitches that are decorative. And with decorative stitches, I always recommend to all of our students is a time to stitch these all out. Just work on one menu at a time. Sew a row of them, stop, pick your next stitch, sew in a row. They look so much better stitched out than they do on the screen. So don't just kind of go, oh look, I've got decorative stitches. See what they're really all about. Now to get back to those folders, touch the decorative stitch kind of little tab there again, and you have stitches in the 300s, 400s, and once again, if there's an arrow, that means there's more. And also, there's more folders. So as you arrow down, that last folder here, that's like where all the quilting stitches hang out. They are kind of in that 1300 numbers, and then you can arrow down, and they also have some very unique stitches in here. You also have an area for alphabets. So you've got alphabets that we will put together in a memory. So if you just pick one, it'll just sew a row of A's. Well, that's usually not what people want. They want to put it together in combination mode. And that's what this would be for. See that little white plus purple square? That takes away your foot. So if you ever can't find where your stitch was, you've probably activated a combi mode or a memory area. So you need to go in and find where you can turn that off and get back to having stitches and a foot showing right there. You also have lowercase alphabets. So we will go through all of those, A and lowercase a. And down below in the capital letters, there are numbers and punctuation, everything you've ever wanted for an alphabet. And you've got a couple different styles there too. All your buttonholes have their own tab where you can go in, pick out different buttonholes, even a straight stitch buttonhole, sewing on buttons, and 2 different eyelets. Now this happy little heart down here is your personal program, which means you can build your own menus and have your own, for example, if you are sewing out those decorative stitches and you're like, oh my goodness, I absolutely love stitch number 102. Well, what you can do is put that in and save that into your own memory, or your own menu. You can go in and delete it later, but often I use that, so I'm like sewing, oh yep, I don't want to ever forget where the turtle is, and I can come in and add that to my memory, or my personal program there. All right, and then when I actually go and sew, I want to see those stitches, so I could go between turtle and flower right at my fingertips. So a lot of times I'll put in a straight stitch, a zigzag, and maybe 1 or 2 other stitches I'm using, and then they'll be right at my fingertips. So instead of me jumping all over the screen and remembering where the stitches are, I can just set them up into my personal program, and then when I'm ready, I can come in here and actually delete out the stitches. Yes, I want to delete them. So we'll go into that in more detail, but it's a great time saver, especially when you see something that you love and you don't want to forget where that actually is. So that's the personal program. Now this 0 to 9 would be as if you start to remember what your favorite stitch numbers are, you could dial that in. Stitch number 0 or 401 and a green check mark takes me to that particular decorative stitch. Touching that and touching number 1 takes me back to a straight stitch. So that kind of can give you a quick way to move around your screen. Just depends on what works for you. So that would be how you get to different stitches around your machine.